What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video we are going to be unlocking Modern Rogue. We're also going to take a look at this brand new alternate costume in PvP. This is one costume that I was definitely excited to get, but we were placed a little behind because there was that one mishap on the daily mission. Some agents got an extra sturdy glove, but I was not one of those lucky few. Still, the time has finally come to take a look at this costume. At least our first look in PvP action. I can already tell this is going to be a good one. But just before we begin, I do want to thank Agent Seraph. This video is brought to you in part by them. So let's hear it for this special agent. Alright, so where we're going to begin is with the completion of the daily mission, and this one was to use mutants only. It actually turned out to be a pretty decent final encounter, and the team I went with was kind of odd. I used Colossus as a tank, Angel, 4 heals and a resurrect, and Molly Hayes. That team worked out perfectly well because no one died and we got it done. So here's our last sturdy glove, and with that, task number 1 is going to be complete. By the way, if you complete all these tasks, you are going to unlock Modern Rogue's uniform, and as far as I understand, it will be there even if you don't have Rogue just yet. So hopefully you have been doing these tasks, because you never know, down the line you'll probably want this uniform. Check out my first video on this uniform if you have any questions about the tasks, and I will link that on the screen right now. Also, just to give you a little bit of important information right here, you can find this hero as a team up in Season 2, Chapter 2, Mission 3. Now let's go ahead and find these alternate costumes, go over their costs, and we'll take a brief look at what each one does once again. First, we'll freeze it on the blaster power version. So this one starts with single target attacks ignore defense and are guaranteed to crit. Now why is that so awesome? Because of a new passive, Classy Lady. Absorb powers are now permanent, so she retains each absorb class benefit. Blaster power will also be kept for the entire fight. So you start with it and you keep it. That's pretty amazing, and this costume is going to cost us 60 CP, so we'll pick it up right now. Then quickly moving on to the second version, this one is going to have the Scrapper power. By the way, both of these are incredible, so I would recommend buying both. But now freeze framing it, this costume begins with and keeps Scrapper power. So single target attacks grant a follow-up attack. All of Rogue's attacks are single target, so this is amazing, and it's going to help you throughout the fight. Plus, think of all the team-ups you can make just because of that right there. You could use anyone who joins in on attacks, such as Union Jack or Rocket Raccoon. Because I really like this version and I love follow-up attacks, I'm going to go with this costume for our first video. But trust me, there will be plenty more team-ups and a lot more of the Modern Rogue. Also, in part because they do work well together, and because of nostalgia, I'm going to use her with Ares. For anyone who remembers, Ares and Rogue dominated in PvP for quite a while. I am confident that this team is going to do very well even in today's PvP. And right away we get a test against one of the most popular teams there is. It's Molly Hayes and Invisible Woman. And even worse, they have the Mystic Shroud. This means we can't break those shields just yet, and with Molly Hayes up next, that means by the time that Ares does break them, we can't even put Exhausted on her. So yeah, right away we find ourselves in quite a predicament. Molly of course uses Raspberry to begin, and so that means she's now going to protect, plus on her next turn she's going to use Temper Tantrum and potentially go off on our entire team. With Modern Rogue, we of course begin with our level 9, and because of our Scrapper power we get a follow-up Brawl. So right away this is pretty phenomenal. Unfortunately for us, the agent uses the weather control device next, and with that he exhausts our agent. Not to mention the rest of our team. So now we do have a decision ahead of us, and what I'm going to do is use the Warm Zephyr. Both Ares and Rogue are going to be able to do multiple things on their next turn, so we don't want either one of those to be limited. In fact, with Ares up first, we're going to use Personal War, and that is a quick action, but it misses. Next on his level 2 Modern Warfare, we have placed the Bursting AISO. That means this ability does have Shield Breaker. Sadly though, it does appear to come too late. Molly Hayes is up next, and with that, she's going to use Temper Tantrum and then begin relentlessly attacking our team. Her first attack, Let's Play Catch, hits us with the Punisher's War Van, and after that, Rogue does counter with an Absorb Power. This is where things get very weird. My agent gets a turn, I assume because of Big and Fast. With that turn, we're going to use Fire Tornado. Then I'm also going to use Neuropurge. Then after that, I'm hopefully going to attack with the T-Bolt Glove. So this was an absolute game changer. Not only does Rogue get her power, so now she has Scrapper and Bruiser power. We're able to limit Molly to just one more Let's Play Catch. And that's it. This is a case where absolutely terrible turn order managed to work itself out. Somehow. Now with Rogue's turn, I'm going to use our level 6 Drain Essence, and that's going to give us some health back, plus cause our follow-up, and this should take the enemy agent very close to death. Oh hey, well it's even better than that because Cosmic Cardinal joins in, and that's the end of their agent. Unfortunately, stuns are really affecting us, so Rogue doesn't get a second turn. Still, with our agent this time, we can use the T-Bolt Glove, and we're going to go ahead and focus on Molly. Both of these enemies have their shields broken, and we don't have to worry about Molly Hayes until next round. So I'd say we have it pretty well made. Right now, Ares is actually going to drop her down, and with her dodge, she ends up at 376 HP. That means that no matter what, she's going to die, so we're going to attack Invisible Woman with Rogue. And there you see some of the crazy damage she can begin to do. Of course, she does have the Scrapper power and Bruiser, with 2 times Enraged. That definitely doesn't hurt. So now all we have to do is finish off Molly, and then we'll get into our second battle. We're only doing 2 for this video, but like I said, we're going to have plenty more for this costume, and also for the other version. I could easily see a lot of different team-ups working. And by the way, she's amazing in multiple wave boss battles as well. Just imagine, she'll gain all those different classes, and she'll keep them until the end. So yeah, she's a great PvE character on top of everything else. Unfortunately here, she only has Bruisers to copy, but she's going to be just fine. We begin with her level 9, and we miss with that as well as her follow-up. So not a great beginning, but still, I'm sure it can only get better from here. Hey, there it is, we get an Ares passive proc, and this time her Brawl doesn't miss. Okay, they have the Ionic Emitter, which truthfully I am kind of jealous of. People often suggest that I use that item, but I do not have it. My guess is not that many other agents have it either, but I have been told to let people know that it can counter Pestilence Beast. So there's an extra little tip for everyone. Although I'm willing to bet if you have it, you already know. It's from way back in Spec Ops 10, and I think it was the daily roulette item. For some odd reason, I hardly ever win that. Even in the current Spec Ops, I went ahead and built the Frozen Axe. There's just no way I'm going to win it. If you ask me, PD should up the drop rates, that way more people might want to buy the 64G weapon. Personally, I'm not going to buy it unless I have every other piece of the set. I guess the good news is now we can build them. But anyways, back to this battle. It's now time for Modern Rogue, and we're going to use Absorb Power on the enemy agent. Like I said at the beginning, we're only going to be able to get the Bruiser power, but we do already have our Scrapper power as well. And with that, our follow-up attack takes him out. This time let's repeat that, but only on Heroic Age Iron Fist. So our first Brawl does quite a bit of damage, and our follow-up easily drops him. Now that's impressive. The fact that she's going to get 4 attacks basically in her second round because of her level 9. Remember, Southern Comfort has Kree speed, so it says taking 2 actions after a full round. The Scrapper Modern Rogue almost has you saying Molly Hayes who? Just because of her amazing explosive power, and all those attacks and follow-ups that you get in round 2. The Blaster version, it's going to be vicious as well, so make sure you stay tuned for some future videos, and many more team-ups for this alternate costume. As for this one, we are coming to the end, so I want to thank you all for watching, and ask you to please like, comment, and subscribe. Then until next time, good luck, and take care.